So yesterday I put out a question and 52% of you said that Dansby Swanson was just overpaid by the Chicago Cubs. So when we break that down in just a moment, I'm going to give my opinion because my answer, it might surprise you. So before we talk about Dansby Swanson, we do have a few other moves that we have to break down, including Joey Gallo going to a new team. Andrew Benintendi has found a new home as well. But before we get into those, I do want to talk about the Red Sox releasing Eric Hosmer. And the thing to note about Eric Hosmer, whoever signs him essentially is going to get a free first baseman because the Padres, they gave him an 8-year deal worth $144 million back in 2018, and they're actually fronting all of that money. So if the Guardians pick up Eric Hosmer, if the Oakland Athletics or the Pirates or the Marlins pick up Mr. Eric Hosmer, they're only going to owe him minimum salaries. I don't really understand what the objective was. I guess that Jake Cronenworth can fill in that first base, and I'm sure that the Red Sox have Tristan Casas, so the Padres aren't really affected. The Red Sox aren't really affected. Eric Hosmer wasn't good with the Red Sox anyways. It was 45 at-bats, a small sample size. He had 3 extra base hits, a 77 OPS plus. For his career, Eric Hosmer does have a 108 OPS plus, so he's serviceable, but at the ripe age of 33 years old, yeah, it's definitely a low risk, medium reward at best. Speaking of low risk, medium reward, this one is actually a low risk, low reward because I do not think that Adam Frazier is a good baseball player. And I'm not trying to sound like an a-hole when I say that, but the facts are Adam Frazier has a career 99 OPS plus, so a below average OPS plus. He doesn't hit really any home runs. Last year in 156 games, he only had, 30-something extra base hits and a 301 on base percentage. Mariners fans, Christmas came early for you guys, the fact that you chose not to bring him back because, honestly, he might have been the most hated player for Seattle fans last year. He was not good. He was terrible. Not gonna lie. He had an 80 OPS plus. He stinks. But yeah, I forgot to mention, he is going to the Orioles. And that's what the Orioles have done all offseason long. They are signing bottom of the barrel players, and it doesn't really make sense to me, but okay. Miss out on Correa, Swanson, all of the big names, and then you get Adam Frazier. Great. That's just smart. Now, the Orioles do have a lot of young pieces coming up with Grayson Rodriguez and DL Hall and Gunnar Henderson and Kobe Mayo and a lot of other prospects, so they're going to be fine, but I wish they would spend money. Speaking of I wish they would spend money, the A's gave $7 million to a relief pitcher, Trevor May. I think that he's a really cool guy. One of the guys that actually cares about creating content if we're talking about baseball players, so again, he gets extra bonus points from me. Trevor May in 2022, he wasn't his best version, and that's just because he had a few injuries that were nagging him. From 2018 to 2021, in almost 200 innings as a relief pitcher, he had a 3.33 ERA and he had a 12.1 strikeouts per 9. He was easily one of the more dependable pitchers when he was with the Twins. Same with the Mets between 2020 and 2021. But last year, you could kind of wash your hands. I don't think that he is going to be that bad again going into 2023. And let's face it, this is just a maneuver for the A's to use a player as a trade piece in a couple months. Trevor May, I can promise you, I'll promise my left you-know-what, that he will not be in Oakland come July. The Minnesota Twins have signed my friend Joey Gallo, and I love my friend Joey Gallo. We all know I'm a fanboy. He's a Vegas boy. I don't know how he got $11 million. I guess what the Twins are really expecting is that Joey Gallo is going to be Barry Bonds, a prime Babe Ruth without the shift, because we all know the shift is going to get limited in 2023, and maybe Joey is going to get more base hits and be able to drive the ball the other way because he was learning that a bit with the Dodgers, and honestly, they're paying for what he did in the past, and I guess when you have a sample size of, you had a 145 OPS plus and 22 home runs in 70 games back in 2019, in 2017, and 2018. He had back-to-back 40 home run seasons. Joey Gallo, when he is playing like Joey Gallo, he is an extra base machine, he is a walk machine, and he plays gold glove defense with a rocket of an arm. Of course, with Joey Gallo, you're going to have to suffer through the strikeout phenom that is maybe the biggest strikeout player in professional history. Like, seriously. Now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure that Joey Gallo has the highest strikeout rate in the history of baseball. I think it's Joey Gallo at number 1 and Miguel Sano at number 2. And if Miguel Sano goes back to the Twins, which I don't think is going to happen, the Twins might have 2 of the highest strikeout guys to ever exist. So if you're a Twins fan, let me know what you think of this move. Joey Gallo, my friend, going to the Twins. He is going to be a division rival of my Guardians, so that's going to really suck, but I'm rooting for him. I think that Max Kepler and Joey are going to be a whole lot better without the shift. But speaking of Max Kepler, do the Twins move on from him? Even though he plays a very solid defensive right field, he is a baseball savant darling. He smashes the baseball. He's been getting very unlucky. Do we think that Max Kepler is going to be on the Twins moving forward, or do you think he's going to be a trade piece? Let me know. Okay, I'm going to kind of, I don't want to be a jerk or anything like that, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I am not the biggest believer in Andrew Benintendi. He got 5 years, $75 million from the White Sox. Now, I will say the White Sox, good for them. They spent some money. I've been waiting for them to do that this entire offseason because they do have a good roster at their core. They can be a division winner in 2023 because, yes, if you have Lucas Giolito and Dylan Cease and Kopech performing at their best with a couple other guys sprinkled in between with that lineup, I really think that Andrew Benintendi can be a good addition. He will definitely be their left fielder. I do not believe that Eloy Jimenez should play outfield ever again. Just preserve his health. Let him be a DH. Andrew Benintendi, he's essentially trying to replace the production left behind by Jose Abreu. Jose Abreu did have a down power season, but he still got on base at an elite clip. Andrew Benintendi, he wasn't the best with the Yankees. He hit 254 with a 331 on base percentage. With the Royals, he hit 320 with a 124 OPS plus and nearly had a 390 on base percentage. So if the White Sox, if they can get first half Andrew Benintendi, that is a fantastic move. A great piece for them. You have a former Gold Glove outfielder in Andrew Benintendi playing left field. You have Luis Robert in center field, and I think they have a guy named Oscar Colas or something playing right field. I can't remember his exact name. White Sox fans, they're big on him. So I feel like this is a decent signing. I'm just not the biggest believer in Benintendi going back to his Red Sox days of being a 20 home run, 40 double guy. For me, he's probably going to be a 15 home run guy, 30 double, which is still pretty good. JD Martinez, back in the day, this dude was an extra base machine. I mean, look at what this guy has accomplished in his career. He had a 173 OPS plus back in 2018 with 43 home runs, 37 doubles. I believe in 2022 and 2021, so back-to-back seasons, he had 40 plus doubles. So again, even though the power was down, only 16 home runs and a 448 slugging in 2022, he still had a bunch of doubles. He had 16 home runs. He can be a threat in the Dodgers lineup. I cannot believe that the Dodgers picked up this guy. Like JD Martinez in Dodger Stadium with Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, all the other guys that they have in that lineup. I know that they've lost a lot of guys, but still, that's a threat. JD will be 35 and a half once the regular season comes around. So if you're a Dodgers fan, please let me know, what do you think of JD? We call him just dingers or just doubles on this channel. And then last but not least, let's talk about my opinion on the Cubs giving Dansby Swanson a 7-year, $177 million deal. This is the biggest deal by the Cubs, I believe, since they gave Jason Hayward, Jason Hayward, $184 million. That might be the worst contract, their second worst contract in baseball history. But a lot of people are saying that the Cubs overpaid. And when you take into account Xander Bogaerts and Trey Turner, I really feel like the Cubs did a decent job of not severely overpaying. They could have gone to 28, 29, so $25 million for a guy that had a 115 OPS plus, 25 home runs, 18 stolen bases. He had a 330 on base percentage. Dansby Swanson is entering his prime at 28, 29 years old, and that's not even his biggest threat as a baseball player. We all know that Dansby Swanson has kind of scuffled throughout his career to be a consistent offensive player, but defensively, he has always been a wizard at shortstop, hence why he won the 2020 Gold Glove. So for me, Dansby Swanson and Nico Hoerner, that is the best, not offensive, but the best defensive middle infield in all of baseball. If you guys have any retorts to that, please let me know if you guys have a better middle infield defensively in Major League Baseball. But for me, Dansby Swanson, Nico Hoerner, that's about as good as you can get. They are going to turn so many double plays. And for me, I don't think that Dansby Swanson is overpaid. I don't think that obviously they underpaid him. But for me, this is fair. Considering what the Cubs need, they need some offense. They really like their Gold Glove caliber defenders, aka Jason Hayward, and with the addition of Cody Bellinger, Ian Happ won a Gold Glove, and left field Nico Hoerner. I don't know if he's ever won a Gold Glove, but that dude is a vacuum. And if you guys don't remember, a few videos ago, I said that the Cubs are trying to have a infield of Justin Turner, Dansby Swanson, and Nico Hoerner on opening day. So far, we have Nico Hoerner, we have Dansby Swanson, and now Justin Turner, the final piece to that puzzle, if you want to call it that, because JT, he's an old man. He was pretty decent in 2022, but again, he's old.